this year because I was crying so much and like it's really going through like a lot of stuff. So I told myself, if I can tell other people that it's okay to like go to the doctor, like seek help, right? Doesn't make sense that I don't dare to do it. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. Oh, hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And I have a special guest with me.
Hi, I'm Nicole from Something Private. We are a sister podcast of OGS and we talk about female health and wellness.
So today we are super excited because we're finally out of office after what seems like the worst year it's ever been. Yeah, but we're here and we're gonna just chill and enjoy nature and hear the birds chirp, smell the rain and the leaves.
So we're going to take you guys to a special location where we'll be reflecting on our 2020 journey and chatting a bit about our mental well-being. So
let's go!
I think one very good phrase is like 2020 was a very eventful year. You know what I mean? Like there were so many things that were happening and yet like nothing was happening. So it's like a state of frustration. Good morning!
This is what time we wake up for work. What time is it now?
It's like 9:30. I think this is really like the year that I really had to sit down and consider my mental health. You know what I mean? I think it was a hot topic, right? Everybody was talking about like, are you okay? Given the scale in which like things happen, plus how much was in your control. So to really have to like stay still and be at peace and be in a state of like, acceptance was quite difficult.
I think this year has been super tough. Like, I think in terms of every aspect of my life, I've been challenged. So like my personal relationships were challenging, my family relationships were challenging. So because like I feel like I've been challenged in every way, but I haven't yet given up. As in like, you know, I'm managing my days lah. Like on a day to day, I'm managing it. In that way, it's been a lot of growth for me this 1 year.
I think especially as a content creator, it was quite challenging.
It was very stressful because things change every day. Content changed so quickly this year from like elections, COVID, you know, every other month felt like
there was something new.
Yeah. So we had to kind of scramble and like everybody was kind of like, okay, let's like jump on this, let's jump on that. Yeah, until I guess like we sat down to make this decision that, okay, you know what, like let's try and realign our goals and not just chase the next thing. But that was also a difficult decision to make lah. I think stories-wise, it's been very exciting this year. Like, I interviewed someone who had COVID, right? And like, she was so positive. I met like frontline workers also who were like very strong and like telling everybody that they will be there for them and things like that. I just felt like, yeah, this year in terms of stories, I met like a wide range of strong and interesting people lah.
So I spoke to like a psychiatrist about the fallout of like COVID-19. In that period of time, people were talking about like a mental health like pandemic, right? So it's very scary. Like when I was talking to her, there was a lot of talk about like the new normal and what that means. And like I think when they say mental health pandemic, I don't think it means extreme things like you suddenly fall into a state of like depression, for instance. It's more like changes in the little things that you do every day. So for me, for instance, like I realized that I'm quite avoidant in kind of confronting my problems. So that manifested in that I was sleeping a lot more than I should have been. Yeah, that is a sign of like a coping mechanism for a changing kind of like mental health situation. So if I didn't manage to, I guess, recognize that and then manage that, right, it could very well go on to become like anxiety, depression, and like, yeah, it's just, I guess, understanding what you're going through and then trying to look for tools to like help yourself out of it. Yeah, but I mean, for you, like, did you experience any of these symptoms?
Yeah, okay, I'm the kind of person, right, I lie on the bed, I sleep within 10 seconds. Like, once my head hits the pillow, I'm out. And that has been me for 25 years. This year, there was a period of time where I would like go and sleep, right? I lie on my bed, but I can't fall asleep for like 3 to 4 hours. And I think that was very scary for me. There was this episode where I spoke to this counselor from Chat lah. Yeah, and she shared with me that like transitions are always hard. Yeah. And it helped put things into perspective. This whole year has been like a transition for the world, right? Because we are transitioning from like not having a pandemic to having a pandemic and then now coping with a pandemic. So we need to learn to be okay with transitions and like just take it slow lor, like don't rush through it. Like, you know, it's okay. Like just relax and like maybe tomorrow you can fall asleep. Maybe next month you'll be better. Yeah, so there's hope basically. Okay, so this year, like looking back on my past work, like, I realized that I was able to like encourage other people and tell other people that if you're going through a hard time, it's okay to like take time off for yourself. It's okay to especially like seek treatment or seek help. But I realized that I didn't dare to do it. Like I didn't dare to go to a polyclinic and like ask for help, you know, like tell them that I need to speak to someone. Yeah, so I told myself, I had to tell myself that if I can tell other people to do it, right, then I need to be able to tell myself that if I need help, it's okay. This year, like I went to get therapy lah. Yeah, and at first I was also I still am like not very ready to share about it. Yeah, like I didn't want to tell my family, I didn't want to tell my parents, but they found out lah.
How has that step forward been?
I felt proud of myself lah. I felt very proud that like I was able to accept help. Yeah, so I think that first step was the hardest. Then after that, the first 1 or 2 sessions were difficult. Yeah, because I felt like I'm very stressed out about it. But after that, the third session, I was like, okay, actually some things really need time. Like I calmed down better. I think that was when like things it started becoming helpful.
I also want to add that like I think like with this whole idea of like resources, right, or like not knowing where to go, I think sometimes people are afraid. But like I feel like in my own, I guess like journey in seeking out like mental wellness, there are actually a couple of like online places and like you said polyclinics. I think a lot of people don't know that you can go there to seek help.
So the first thought I had was like, if I want to go counselling, is it going to be very expensive?
Yeah, I think it's very common, right?
I have to go private, it's $200 a session, you know, like how fast is that going to burn through my savings? And it causes anxiety lah. So I think actually really like there is like free resources out there that we can tap on as a first step. Yeah, and then from there you can learn more and decide, you know, what is the best route you want to take. So I think that first step is the most important.
Yeah. Cliches are cliches, right? But it's the small things that kind of like help you to also like. Cause like I think I was talking to this like psychiatrist, right? And she shared that like this whole concept of like self-care. Because I think now a lot of times self-care is a term that is popularized and like overused, right? But like self-care for anything. But she was saying that actually it's very important to just kind of take like a small period of time, be it like in the day or a week or whenever, right, to yourself, and then just indulge in like what makes you feel good. So that could be like maybe 10 minutes of just like watching TV or like watching Netflix or like, I don't know, like going on a walk, these kind of things, like whatever makes you feel good. But the most important thing is that like you know that that helps you. But it's so like small, you never think that that will make any difference, right? But like it really does, it helps you feel like yourself, you know? Yeah, in a time where you don't feel like yourself.
You know, you were talking about self-care, right? And sometimes self-care is a luxury. You know, people think that self-care, you need to spend money, right? Yeah, like you need to buy candles, or for me, like I want to go yoga, which I need to spend money on. So maybe some of these things are luxuries, but I'm very sure there are also free resources, like free yoga classes on YouTube, or like just going out for a jog, that kind of thing. And I think like those are also very valid forms of self-care that we need to know. Like self-care is not just about, we don't need to spend money in order to get self-care.
It's whatever works for you lah.
Yeah.
I spoke to this girl who came forward with her story about how she was really struggling for mental health during the lockdown, and what happened was that she eventually decided to check herself into a psychiatric ward. I guess the whole idea of going to a psychiatric ward is still quite stigmatized in our country. I think what I learned from her was that like you don't have to be mentally unwell to seek help, but like mental wellness is like a spectrum, and it's a journey of like building resilience. It's kind of like your own like physical health, right? You take vitamins, you exercise to make sure that you are constantly okay. You don't like wait until you are like immobile and you're like, okay, doctor, So the same thing lor, I think having the vocabulary is important, knowing what resources you have available to you is important. Like constantly doing check-ins with yourself. If you're even feeling a tad bit like anxious, depressed, then know what are the ways in which you can take on like that challenge at that point of time. So I think that was a learning process for me, because I mean it is a journey I guess.
With that, we hope you all learn something
And that you take out advice.
take care of yourself and learn to take time out to enjoy the world. Thanks everyone for watching.
This video was made in collaboration with the YouTube Singapore team to encourage more conversations around mental health.
For more mental health and well-being tips, check out the links in the description box below. Thanks! Bye!